The amazing Mr. PC solo of John Coltrane grants us access to the most hip minor licks. Just listening to the first chorus gives us so much information for practice hours and hours to go. John Coltrane plays Mr. PC, which is a minor blues in D minor for the tenor saxophone. This lick over D minor 9 chord is an amazing way to use the D minor scale, and not just running up and down the scale. Coltrane plays enclosures on all the scale notes. A chromatic approach note under the target note, and a diatonic approach note above. Giving you tons of possibilities to easily play lines over minor chords and minor scales. And enables you to start the line on any chord or any scale note you want. When you play these licks, start adding them to your music as soon as you possibly can. This scale exercise will take the enclosure through the steps of the scale and add this thoroughly into your system. The easy Patreon download has these exercises and licks in all 12 keys. Make sure you go and download them. This great line again shows how amazingly John Coltrane uses enclosures. John Coltrane moves towards the G on the G minor 7 chord, begins on the B flat above the G, the minor third, then add 2 chromatic steps below, and going above and adding the diatonic approach note. Think about this. When you're planning out your lines, you really have to think far ahead in this line. You have 4 steps, and because you have these 4 steps, you really need to be ahead. What I would do when practicing and getting this line into my system, I'll think the target note first, the G. Then I will think, what note do I start on? The minor third above the B flat. I add the enclosure in front of the G, starting on the B flat. And you can see the main lick, the enclosure going to the G. This is a building block where you can add different endings. Embrace these building blocks and build further. Check the Patreon for these licks and these exercises in the tenor key, the alto key and the concert key. The extensions which Coltrane used on minor chords, the 9, the 13 or the 6 if you want, gives you a sound almost like you're playing outside on minor chords because we're not used to these sounds. The 9th is a longing sound that wants to go to the root, whereas the 13 more sound like a major chord. Using the 9 and the 13s is a matter of just playing them a lot, getting used to the sound. A great way of doing this is using the extensions as target notes in your lines. When you hit this target note, you really get aware of the sound and you really get aware of where to put this in your playing. Coltrane goes all in on playing major on this minor lick. The major top of this scale gives a great leading effect towards the D, because of all the leading tones, the A, the B and the C sharp. This scale is the melodic minor scale or the minor major scale. And playing this scale on a minor chord, you get these really great extensions you really want to dig. The major 7 is the leading tone towards the D, what I just mentioned. The 9 and the 13 we also just went through. Check them out, check them in this scale. For example, in this lick, I'm just running up that melodic minor scale and down a D minor major arpeggio and down an A9 arpeggio. And this lick, I'm borrowing some of Coltrane's begin licks, and then I'm adding some melodic minor scale ones towards the chord notes. These melodic minor licks has a lot of technique in them, so you need to add the melodic minor scale to your practice. It's an important scale. I moved the earlier enclosure exercise into the melodic minor scale, and also what you saw earlier, I had some chords in there in the melodic minor scale. These I added as an exercise into the scale. I strongly advise you to add these chords into your scale exercises. If you need all the licks and the exercise in all 12 keys, find the link to the Patreon in the description. Download the full lesson transcription on the first tier. And the bonus lick is how John Coltrane uses the enclosure on the D minor lick. But you can also use this on an F major chord. Get access to all lesson transcriptions, all examples, all licks and all exercises in all 12 keys. Join the first tier on my Patreon and get access to thousands of pages of learning material. Join the newsletter. I send one update every week with all the newest, hippest stuff. Any questions to this topic or any other saxophone topic, add it in the comments below. Like and subscribe, you know where to find it. Play music and have fun.